Right from when I was young, I was an artist. I mean, I always drew and I always designed things. And I guess that's why I was drawn to reviving this dying art and doing the doll making. Most people call me the banana doll lady because most of my dolls are made from banana leaves. I started making the dolls in 1986. So this is a story. Well, Mrs. Gleason made these dolls in St. George's, and her dolls were made with banana and palm. My mother bought me one of these dolls when I was 8 years old, and I still have it. But you know, when you're young, you think, oh well, I'll never ever make a doll or whatever, you know. And in my later years, I saw this art, this tradition that was dying out, and I thought I must revive this dying art. And I called Mrs. Gleason, and she said, "My dear child," she said, "I taught myself, and I suggest you teach yourself." And I got my doll down. And I looked at it and I just stripped it very carefully, put it back together again, and I created my own style of doll. And I was working at Trimmingham's then. And I took my doll in, and Mr. Eldon, I'd never forget him, bless his heart, and he said, "My goodness, Ronnie," he said, "that's really nice. It looks just like Mrs. Gleason's doll." And my head, of course, just swelled, and I thought, oh my goodness. He said, "Why don't you leave it in the shop and just see, you know, how it sells?" And about 2 weeks later, they called and they said, "Could you bring some more dolls in because we sold the one?" Then I just made the banana dolls, and I wasn't really into angels until one of my friends from Somerset came to me, and she said, "Ronnie," she said, have you ever done banana angels?" And I said, "I haven't, no." And she says, "If you make them, I don't care what they look like," she said, "I will buy it." The year that I designed these angels was the year of the angel. They sold all year round, so Trimmingham's wanted me to make them all year round, and that's how I sold so many, and now it's history. And I've been painting ever since I was knee-high. That's the banana bark, and I don't paint anything. I just take and look at the bark, and I could see clouds and everything. It's just, you know, glued on. And then I put a shellac over it after, and I frame them. In 2003, I had a stamp put out, and the stamp was the palm dolls. It wasn't really the banana dolls. It was 2 palm dolls. And then I got into doll houses, miniatures, and I started that about 25 years ago. So this house is all Bermuda cedar, and as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors. It's just my pleasure to build these houses. If you should want to order something, I suggest for you to go through the shops to do that. And that would be the Irish Linen Shop, which is in Hamilton. And I have the Craft Market in the Dockyard. And I have Jill Rain in St. George's. So I'm in the east, Jill Rain, Bermuda Memories. And I'm in the middle, which is the Irish Linen Shop. And the west, which is the Craft Market, and the Clock Towers is the littlest drawbridge, and they carry my angels. And you know, and as you go on in life, it's sort of like the ideas just pour in, like when I'm talking to someone, and then someone would say to me, you know, have you ever done this such and such a thing? And then a light goes on in my head, you know, and then I come home, and then I work with my leaves, and then because I only work with natural materials, so then I make something out of it, you know, and then I just go on, and then at Christmas time I do swags and wreaths and nativity scenes. Then I just go on and on and on, and it's just so much, you know, and it's so much I really want to do, but it's just not enough time.